Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this, this is a genuine investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategic or compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with a return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, the information is available in the description below. Today's video, I'm looking at MMAT MMTLP and a new legal action looking for $43 to $414 per share. And we're also going to be looking at Tesla deliveries update. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first of all, we can see here from Bloomberg, the tech has fueled a rebound in the Nasdaq 100. The S&P 500 is also up approximately 1% at time of editing. And if we have a look at the key indices here, we can see Dow Jones up 0.5%, S&P 500 up 0.78%, and the Nasdaq up a very good 1.23% at time of editing. And in other news from Market Watch, we can also see that oil is on track for a solid week, buoyed by China policy support. So good news there for oil stocks. And in other news, also with regard to Ford recorded its best ever annual US sales since 2019, and I believe the price of Ford, ticker symbol F, was also up earlier today. And other positive news, especially with regard to Microsoft, they today announced they're expecting to spend $80 billion in fiscal 2025 on the construction data centers that can handle AI workloads, and over half of the Microsoft's $80 billion spending will take place in the United States. And I think yesterday was a good opportunity to pick up Microsoft. In other news, also shared in the Discord, it was first of all with regard to ticker symbol X, US State Steel. President Biden blocked the acquisition by Nippon Steel. And in other news, we also shared in the Discord with regard to ticker symbol CHWY, Chewy. There was an upgrade there to an outperform rating, and also that was up in the market as well. Let's have a look at an analysis and summary of the Tesla deliveries, and we can see here that Tesla deliveries fell below 1.8 million in 2024, and this is the first drop since 2011. With regard to BYD, they sold 1.76 million pure EVs and 4.3 million overall, and I certainly know that BYD did exceptionally well after that. So in response to the Tesla deliveries yesterday, the stock price did take a bit of a hit, and if we look at a reaction here from in terms of the market, what we can see here, the overall headline yesterday was why analysts divided on Tesla after lackluster Q4 deliveries data. And in terms of the key takeaways after that happened, we saw that Tesla stock did go down. Yesterday it was down approximately 6%. However, analysts were still bullish, stating that obviously with regard to the new Trump term, the second Trump term, it should be positive, especially with the regulatory procedures in terms of Tesla, the robo-taxi plan. So if we have a look at the response from the market, especially with regard to the bullish signals from Wedbush, who are looking at this as a strong rebound, we can see here in terms of the chart. There was a good recovery today in the market. Right now at time of editing, up over 8%, coming at $410.15. And if we have a look at a response here from Canaccord, they stated they are still bullish on Tesla, with new products, new growth, bottoming out auto gross margins, the year of the robot, improving FSD, and also energy storage business. So I certainly think Tesla for the long term is a great stock. Let's now have a look at MMAT and MMTLP, and the latest legal action is looking for relief of between $43 and $414 per share. So this has been brought by Jason, and what is posted here in response to a request from Dustin Faulkner, who stated, I want an MMTLP professional in once a month until every month until this is resolved. So go ahead and contact Dustin if you want to suggest some information for him. And what Jason has stated here is have some nice reading on the MMTLP situation and the failures of the regulatory officials. So we're going to have a look at his filing here. So this has been filed in the United States District Court for the District of Connecticut. Jason Rollo, the plaintiff, versus the SEC, FINRA, DTCC, and also unspecified John Doe's between 1 and 100, which we're going to look at further details of shortly. But in terms of a background and introduction to this lawsuit, it states here this lawsuit arises from a pervasive pattern of market manipulation, regulatory negligence and constitutional violations, causing financial harm to retail investors, and has been focusing on trading and governance failures associated with metamaterials preference share MMTLP. So the plaintiff Jason Rollo is looking to hold accountable the entities and individuals responsible for these systematic failures. These include FINRA, the SEC, DTCC and market makers, broker dealers, etc. So if we look at some of the interesting parts of this case, in terms of the parties, first of all, the important one that we're going to focus on is Jason. He's a resident and citizen of the county of Litchfield in the state of Connecticut. He's a small business owner and a shareholder of MMTLP and also metamaterials MMAT. And he also goes on to say in here, in terms of the John Doe defendants, these are going to be referred to as John Doe defendants or market participants, and this will include broker dealers and other entities. And then he goes on to say in terms of something which I think is interesting, and that is with regard to Greg McCabe. And he states here that Greg McCabe issued public statements that substantially overstated the valuation of oil and gas properties associated with the Nexbridge hydrocarbon designation. So from a personal point of view, I would like to see these public statements. I'm not personally aware of these public statements from Greg McCabe, but if he could share those, then that certainly would be something very insightful, but it's not something I am aware of myself. But he has made that claim, and he goes on to say, first of all, in terms of equitable relief for market and procedural irregularities, he's entitled to equitable relief for market procedural irregularities affecting the metamaterial shares, and for those he's looking for between $13.45 to $26.78 per share, and he has approximately 13,077 shares. So for MMTLP, he's looking for equitable relief for the market and procedural irregularities again affecting the MMTLP shares, and now compensation ranging between $43.21 and $417 per share, and he has 1,675 shares, and that's what he's looking for. And then in terms of compensatory damages to redress the financial and emotional harm, he's looking at the awarding of compensatory damages for the loss of value and liquidity of the plaintiff's MMTLP and metamaterial shares caused by the defendant's misconduct, a damage for harm caused by the suppression of share prices, synthetic shares, creation of naked short selling and the improper U3 halt, financial results, losses resulting from the systematic harm inflicted on market value, and he also wants damages for emotional distress and mental anguish for that. And the last bit I'm going to share with you here is with regard to treble damages for antitrust violations. This is also again under the Antitrust Act and the Clayton Act, establishment of a restitution fund for retail investors. So now he's looking for everybody out there who invested in MMTLP or MMAT, and he wants all people, all retail investors compensated for financial harm caused by synthetic shares, discrepancies, naked short selling and manipulative trading practices. He also wants punitive damages to deter the defendant and others from doing this again, and he's looking for a jury trial. So let's see how this proceeds, but certainly another interesting legal action, and we will and I certainly can see that these are mounting up by the week, so we should hopefully have some positive news, especially with regard to action against FINRA, the SEC, market makers, broker dealers, etc. However, from a personal point of view, I'm not sure it's a great idea to go after Nexbridge hydrocarbons. We don't want them to be impacted negatively, especially where they may hopefully be fighting for a resolution behind the scenes. So finally, thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.